welcome to another episode of Makowski's Minute, episode 24 to be exact. We're still rolling with Bob Seger. We're talking about Against the Wind. Check it out. Cool album cover, the horses and all that. We got the boys looking good, the Silver Bullet Band. Got old Bob hanging out there on the back. Pretty cool album, one of my favorites. So let's dive right into it. It was released February 25th in 1980. It was the 11th studio album with, it was Bob's 11th studio album, but like we talked about before, Silver Bullet Band didn't come around until like 74, 75. And like the past albums, half of this album is still Muscle Shoals rhythm section from down in Alabama, which again, if you haven't checked out Muscle Shoals, check out Muscle Shoals. Incredible story down there. Really, really, really cool stuff. It was one of the top-selling albums. Just 4 weeks after being released, it actually replaced Pink Floyd's The Wall for the #1 spot on the Billboard 200. So that was pretty cool. All 4 singles were in the top 50 of Billboard's Hot 100, with Against the Wind hitting number 5. So that was pretty sweet. Popular song, popular album, just kept increasing Bob Seger's success after Live Bullet, Night Moves, Stranger in Town, boom, Against the Wind, just kept racking them up right there. It actually won a Grammy in 1980 for Best Rock Performance by a Duo or Group with a Vocal. And I thought that I read somewhere that it won another Grammy for something, but I couldn't find anything else. So if anybody researches it or knows about that, drop something in the comments. We can talk about that. I'd love to know. I'd love to hear about it. So also, Glenn Frey, Don Henley, and Timothy B. Schmidt from the Eagles were all on this album singing backup vocals, which I thought was pretty cool because 1980 got Timothy B. Schmidt in there in the Eagles. That was right when they were breaking up. So I'd kind of like to know the story more behind them because, you got the Eagles breaking up. They're on Bob's album. Bob did Heartache Tonight with them a year before this. So just kind of interesting. I'd like to know their old tale of it all, but we may never know. And one more thing that I thought was really cool that I learned from this album was the Highwaymen. The Highwaymen! If you don't know who the Highwaymen are, then check them out. It was like a country supergroup that formed in like 1985. It was Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, and Willie Nelson. And they covered Against the Wind on their debut album, which I thought was sweet. And I looked it up, and it's sweet, and it's the Highwaymen. I love that. I love that stuff. It's so cool. So if you don't know the Highwaymen, check them out. They're really, really sweet. And then another thing that I'm learning a lot from Bob Seger, and I love it because it's Michigan, man. All this is basically about Michigan. It's really, really, really cool. Fire Lake, which was recorded down in Alabama with the Muscle Shoals rhythm section, is actually about Silver Lake that's near Hell, Michigan. So, I've been to Hell a couple times. I've probably seen signs and passed by Silver Lake. So if anybody's jumped into Silver Lake before near Hell, then you've been to Fire Lake there. So I thought that was pretty damn cool. And yeah, it's just a very interesting album. It's just really, really cool to learn about the Michigan stuff, Bob Seger and his past albums. Like I said, the Highwaymen, I didn't know they covered it. It was really cool. And Glenn Frey, Don Henley, and Timothy B. Schmidt breaking up the Eagles and doing this. Again, I'd like to know that story. So if you guys have any of the answers to my questions, like I said, put them in the comments. Maybe we can talk about it a little bit. I'd love to know more. I'd love to hear your guys' take on the album. And that wraps up episode 24 of Makowski's Minute. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.